The back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina, and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Paige Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act. They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
You're standing at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of you.
Okay, well, we're going to release a balloon for Karina again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully, it won't go towards the reservoir.
Hopefully, it don't land on the car's window.
Or go up in the tree. Alright, but anyway, Karina, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new baby brother. His name's Raleigh. Raleigh McClurkin. You'll never get to see him, Karina. You have a niece, Caitlin. You'll never get to know. Because some dumbasses had to take you out for no reason. This is for you, baby girl.
I know I said it last night's video, but...
Okay, I'm going to end the video. You see something, say something. You know something, say something. Contact KPD.
Oh, wait, the car's going by you. Careful, Gary, the other way. I didn't go up. Dang it, man.
So I tied mine to the tree.
Stay right there.
This is exactly where I made that promise to her, and I will see to it she makes a home. Okay, well, still kind of good morning. I got 30 minutes till noon, so almost good afternoon. This live, what it's going to be, the subject matter is going to hit real close to home to me. And this has been decades I've lived and breathed this hell as a survivor, as a victim. When I was a child, me and my younger female cousin, the hell we went through as children, I don't wish on anyone, even my worst enemy. When you're being beat, sodomized, molested, raped as a little child, having this done to you by a distant male cousin, to you and your female cousin, To give you an idea how sick and twisted this individual was, candlesticks, anything they could find, lighters. You get the idea. That's the hell me and my little female cousin had to go through for years while he was living with his mother, his brother, with our grandmother in her trailer for almost 4.5, 5 years of our life while he was living there. When we were dropped off to be watched by our grandmother, he was preying on us as little children. She was about a year below me, so it'd be about 4 to 8, 9-ish. And me, it was 5 to about 9, 9.5, 10. For years of our life, we went through a living hell I wish on no one. Not one person, not even my worst enemy, I would wish for you to go through that hell. And to have cartel dealers using my PTSD. Remember, I'm just a mental retard. And to have content creators that were friends with those dealers going on certain live streams like Criminality and others, bringing up my PTSD for the last 3 years now that I got as a child survivor. You guys don't understand the living, breathing hell it goes through. Having that done to you. Having knives, guns put to your throat, your head. Being threatened, you say one word, I will kill you, your little cousin, your little brothers, sisters, your family. Go ahead, say something. You have no clue that hell that you go through as a child. And as a local, to hear Karina McClurkin's mother, Marlena Smith, talking about how Gabriel Ellis sexually trafficked her daughter to a Kokomo firefighter who paid to go again. And at his hands, he got too rough and choked her to death. To see a mother openly, just bluntly give you the name and, I was given a tour of the crime scene. I was contacted by the ones that you had her dropped off there earlier that night. And it was not at Flint's. Your cartel drug ring, your friends that you chose to protect that drug ring, your addiction, your drug connections over your own daughter's justice, and how you could coldly look at me in the face, emotionless, talking about how you were given a crime scene tour with blood of your daughter still on the wall. Not one emotion from you, Marlena. And your friends, the motorcycle members that was standing to your left and right, like Ricky Bubby Lewis, Brewster Fitz, the one standing directly to your left and your right, One Nation Motorcycle Club, Ricky Bubby Lewis, Melville Ground Shakers, 2, playing an active role with the sex trafficking with Danny DeMullen, and the Good Old Boys Club, Lafayette and Kokomo. Both those motorcycle clubs, just like Milwaukee Iron, Sin City, Dragons, Road Knights, have been active with the sex and drug trafficking with that cartel in Kokomo for years. For having what the hell happened to me and my little cousin as kids, knowing that too damn well. The pain, the suffering, the hell it causes you. I am proud me and her never got into full-blown addiction. I got into pills. Thank God I never got further. I didn't let that pain devour me, turn me into evil. I let it fuel me to fight for the ones that have no fight. They can't fight for themselves. Fight for my nation. Fight for my fellow man, woman, child beside me. That's who and what I stand to today. As a child sexual victim, rape and molestation, sodomy, victim survivor, I chose to stop and stand with somebody that ended up being trafficked and murdered herself. I met a friend and lost a friend the same night, Karina McClurkin. Other content creators are here for views, for clicks. When I thought I had a family that I could fall back onto, that I could trust, that I could lean on, I left my church family. A church I belonged to for years. I was in worship team. I was there many, many hours on that stage. Worship team, choir, you name it. I was there. And why I left Grace Church is because of Tyler Bender, a lead pastor, sexually preying on underage girls of the children and teen worship choir. Not choir, but the worship, not worship team, but with him being on that worship team, he was able to access and have sexual relations with more than one underage kid while being a pastor and still being retained as a pastor at Grace Community Church. Just not even 12 minutes, about 12 miles from Life Church, where the lead pastors you will be seeing in what I will be bringing up. This is Life Church. Beckwith, our lieutenant governor, is one of the lead pastors and longtime friends with many of the Grace Community Church, including Tyler Bender, a child predator pastor at Grace Community Church. We'll get to that later. But this is Johnathon PETERNEL and Nathan PETERNEL, his dad, his partner, who is an advisor to the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana, Beckwith. His co-lead pastor and runs more than one church with Jonathan's dad. And I want you to keep in mind, remember, they just came out, remember, with the 764. Going after the child predators, 764. And I want you to keep in mind, Nathan, his dad was an advisor for, and still is, for the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. And like many, I'll leave this up for a couple of minutes and I'll go to the next. But I'm not going to spend 6 hours on reading this out when you can pause it, you can slow it down, put it on a slower speed to read through these. There's no sense in me laughing, giggling, having a good old time reading off a serious subject matter, like so many content creators do for money, views, and to have a laughing good time reading about serious content matter, like the murder of 2 little girls. And they can sit there, laugh, make sexual jokes in the fucking comments with each other. Oh, buttery nipples. It's disgusting when I'm seeing some that are saying they're there for victims and justice and how they act and portray. You say you're for one thing, but when you get on 8 Alive for hours on end, having a laughing good time about the subject matter that is at hand, how can some of you sleep at night? Was that content worth it? Was the money made from that content worth it? Was the laughs, the good time? Was it worth it? Was the laughing matter those victims, the families? But I could read all this, read it out. That'd take and give extra hours to this. If it was nothing for views, for look at me, I could sit here and read this out to you. Have a good time, have laughing, good time, carry on, do jokes with you. I just figured it'd be easier just to let you read for yourselves. Then we're going to get into Grace Community Church, just a few miles down the road. Longtime friends with both pastors, elders, staff, longtime friends with each other. But with elected officials, the rank and file law enforcement, the politicians that go to both of these churches, they were allowed to cover up and hide, not once, multiple times. Tyler Bender at Grace, his actions as a church pastor on underage children there at Grace Community Church, a mega church in Noblesville. The same town, you had Life Church, where the pastor's son ran a Snapchat group called Diddy's Disciples. Now, if I bring back up and with bringing up Diddy's Disciples, we'll get to the word disciples and kind of what that means in the 764. And you tell me if that's not what Diddy's Disciples, if that is not that pastor, his group. I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong one, so I'm going to try to. And it just makes me sick because the dad runs the local, one of the local Turning Point USA local chapters. And it's not the first time I've seen multiple politicians using the loophole and child predators like firefighter up in Kokomo exposing himself to an underage girl, welcome right back by the congregation, Catholic Church, St. Patrick's up in Kokomo, just like Chuck Jansen. His sexual relationships with children at one school, he was able to resign, not be charged, and a Catholic school picked him up and hired him knowing what he was doing to male students, underage students. He got his charges dropped just like Gabriel Ellis. It all helps like Gabe Ellis his mom being friends with the Howard County mayor, among others. All helps when who you and your family are friends with. Sorry about that. Are we back? It wasn't letting me switch to the next slide, so I had to turn it off and come back in. So hopefully we're back here. But I do want to bring up, and I want to push for one thing that needs to happen. There's about 11 states, and Indiana is one of these states. Clergy and congregational sexual abuse, they do not have some specific laws targeting pastors, pastoral staff, clergy members, and the sexual misconduct, especially with underage children. We need to press as citizens to protect these children from these pastors, their family, and then having the friends, politicians, the political associations, both left and right, because these two churches are longtime friends with each other, like lead pastors. Grace sits more left-leaning. Life Church is more right-wing leaning. And what's scary is if you look at Tyler Bender, he's been talking a lot about standing up for the illegal members and being a sanctuary church where they don't care if you're illegal or legal, speak English or not. They do special services like Spanish only, and it's to target and bring in, no matter any walk of life, illegal or legal. But he's been talking, and Tyler's been vocal a lot when it comes to illegals. And it makes me wonder if that's where he is now targeting his victimization to the ones that are the most silenced. Knowing if he picks legal citizens, locals, their children, they can turn around and they're liable to take their voice, and he can face charges. And him being so vocal on illegals and stuff like that, it makes me wonder that is probably where he's prying on. Knowing if they voice up, they speak up to get their children justice with their situation, I fear that is where he is praying now within Grace Church as a pastor, still able to be over their Grace children, the Grace teen. He is in charge of the full digital experience. So emails, cameras, he's got access to anything and everything he wants as a lead pastor with free roam of that church. Just like he's been preying on underage girls. I was a member of Grace Community Church for years. I was baptized back in 2019. While he was doing all this, this is going on. These pastors chose to protect a known child predator, knowing what he was doing was inappropriate. It was wrong. They just did a in-house investigation, hired a third party to investigate, and showed, oh, it may have been inappropriate, but he did no wrong. And with the politicians, the rank and file law enforcement, even on some rank nobles and police officers and retired officers with rank are on staff, paid staff at Grace, just like they are at Life. I fear Jonathan and his parents and Lieutenant Governor is going to do just like what Grace Community Church, longtime friends of theirs, was able to do when it comes to Tyler Bender. I chose to stand with the victims, knowing myself damn well what it feels like to be sodomized, to be molested, to be raped. How bad that beats you down, degrades you. As a human being, as a victim myself, I stood with the victims. Want to know what happened? Me being on worship, me doing choir, asked to come to any events, being talked to as a brother, long time, years member, everybody communicating with me, having my phone number, calling me, text me, just checking in with me. You stand for victims over a child predator, pastor they retained, and he is still retained as a lead pastor of Grace Church. This is why I brought up Grace Church when it came to Jonathan PETERNEL. His father, mother, their family, the lieutenant governor, fellow pastor beside his dad, that his dad was still is an advisor to politically, the lieutenant governor, their longtime friendships with pastors like Tyler Bender, Grace Church, other pastors, other churches, right there in Noblesville, the same town, just minutes away, with the local officials, rank and file law enforcement, they're allowing the cover-up and pastors and their family and friends to get by and walk on being child predators. Protecting, coddling, and keeping them on the payroll. How do you think Jonathan's family's paying for his defense? That's tax dollars for him being an advisor to a political party. So you got tax money, you got politicians, friends, family, and the church money going to protect yet another child predator. A church and the pastors and all are doing everything they can do to protect yet another predator in the same town, and longtime friends with yet another child predator like Tyler Bender, and the pastors and staff, elders, protecting him. This is why I no longer stand as a member of Grace Community Church, 146th Street. When they chose to protect and retain a child predator as a pastor and allow him to go on to further victimize other victims, it's no better than what Larry Nassar did and what the FBI allowed him to do. But it just goes to show you, it's all in who you're friends with, your ties and connections, both left and right. Both are just as evil, both just as nasty, both are covering up child predators just like Tyler Bender and Jeffrey. Jonathan, not Jeffrey. But yeah, Jonathan. Lead pastor, Barry Rodriguez. I'm going to try to do this slow enough where you can read it, but there's no sense in me adding an hour or 2 hours to a live stream on trying to read through all this when you are intellectual people. You can read it yourselves. I'll shine the light, show you where to look, how to look. Knowing this is exactly what Tyler Benner has been doing for years. Admitting this is what Tyler Benner has been doing for years. Grooming. How many years? What were the signs? You can't tell me. The Diddy's disciple leader. Jonathan. He did not show any signs. Didn't find that on his devices before. As he was growing up. Get real. It's on who you know and how you can get help to cover up and hide it for as long as you can. Remember? Politics, money, over victim, after justice. That money and politicians' power over justice. Indiana. There's a hell of a lot bigger issue going on. When you have mass murderers going back to child predators like this, their family and friends, serial killers, dealers, other child predators, their family and friends, going back friends with elected officials, attorneys, prosecutors, judges. And look, you think Florida's going to get justice? Look how the FBI, Indianapolis Field Office, how they did Larry Nassar, his case, ordering up at a cover-up that was found by the Department of Justice, Office of Inspector General. The Senate and Congressional Investigative Committees, all three were being lied to by the Indianapolis Field Office and the FBI agents, multiple, caught covering up, deleting, hiding evidence of their lies, disregard, and negligence that allowed hundreds of victims. Years before that, it was more than just child exploitation victims. Who else is involved with Keegan Klein? Gabriel Ellis, the child predator that had full control over Keegan Klein, all the way back to Jerry Klein's murder, and Amy Ellis, Gabe Ellis's wife, walking away from Jerry Klein, his murder in Kokomo. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that. Then how the defense wants to go, oh, look at the Vinlanders, look at the Aryan Brotherhood. What about the Saxon Knights? I just wanted to bring this up. This is why the safety net I had, the place where I could feel safe. I always wondered when I asked so much as prayer, and I was being promised as, oh, we will come up and say a prayer. Oh, we got to get together, a small little protest, like silent protest. Asking a pastor and getting promised, oh, all we really wanted just is a pastor. And I got confirmation. Hey, what time and date? I'll be up there. Oh, you just want somebody to start off with a prayer and asking for peace and safety. Being told that, and when it comes time, I'm up there. Are you coming? Oh, we've decided not to. Knew all about Karina McClurkin's case. Could care less. Usually you can go to a pastor. And that pastor confidentiality with you and your pastor, you can open up, you can trust, you can actually let everything flow. Ask for guidance, help, understanding. For years, I begged for that at Grace. I gave hours upon hours, days and days of my own personal time to Grace. Volunteered my time. And the thank you I got for siding with victims as a victim, myself, as a child, everyone that talked to me, that treated me like a brother. Oh, like they're my brothers, my sisters. Oh, my great friends. The moment I sided as a victim myself, a child victim myself, standing with the child victims and the staff, and the ones standing up, speaking out, I was given a cold shoulder. Like, fuck you. You're not worth my time. You're a sorry piece of shit. You're going against us instead of helping us cover it up. Is exactly what it felt like. Do you know what it feels like to feel like you got baptized in a sea of hell? Of lava is what it feels like. I'm supposed to be renewed. And it feels like I got bathed in the pits of hell. By ones protecting child predators like my predator that did what he did to me and my little cousin. And you stand for the side of the victims. You speak up and you side with the victims, telling them, you're not the only one. I've been there. I know what it feels like. I stand with you. I stood with another victim that had the same thing happen to her 2 weeks into her 18th birthday by a predator. Predators just like these two. She lost her life. Other children have lost their lives to predators. The same group they hung out with, they ran with. In other cases, predators just like these two that chose to take lives. I just figured it'd be a whole lot easier since there's a lot more. I couldn't get all 100 on here. It didn't fit all 100. But this is something I wanted to bring up today. And as still to this day, Tyler Bender has never faced one charge and is retained, and he still has a paycheck as a lead pastor at Grace Community Church, 146th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. And they, just like the Life Church, say they stand for victims, for justice. It's kind of weird when you're a victim yourself that chose to stand up and give a voice to the voiceless, to stand for the victims, for justice, when your church turns your back on you for that exact reason. Wants nothing to do with you. I no longer have a church family. I chose victims and justice. My oath to my nation, my people, over a congregation that says they're for the people, for God's word, but look at the evil they protect. Look at the church money going to protect evil predators. Praying using the same church. And like I said, just like Gabe Ellis, his mom being friends with elected officials, just like Tina Riddell. And to have the Hulu doc Linda Miller for me exposing your incest inbred grandson. Remember, I can go get raped. Prof and others backing you up and having a good old laugh. Remember my PTSD criminality, Angela, R&M, Luke, Dan, DB, Adrian, CJ, Greeno, Mar R. I'll get to that. Remember, I'm just a mentally ill retard. My PTSD just makes me mentally ill. I'm just a retard. You all have been having a fun time for the last 3 years. Remember, using my PTSD as, oh, it makes him mentally ill. The TBI I got in active duty makes me a mental retard. Unlike you, I don't have my phone. I don't have emails. I don't have texts. I don't have messages coming in. You guys made damn sure of that. I've got no outlet. I've got no net. I've got nobody to talk to. All in the name of content and money for you and your friends. You've taken away anybody that would talk to me, that would back me, that would even associate with me for the name of you and content and money. I've got 2 family members I text and call. I've got maybe 1 friend out of state. I know I can text and call anytime I need. Other than that, you made damn sure to side with Tina Riddell, Julie Melvin, and their friends to silence me to protect them and their families that are involved in more than 1 missing and murdered case. You chose to silence me and take away anybody that would talk to me. Remember, I'm just a mental retard. Don't waste your time. Don't even bother talking to him. You have no hell of a fucking clue why I stand with these victims. Karina McClurkin. What happened to her? You don't understand the hell that little girl went through like I do. My little cousin. We know all too well from our PTSD, our hell as we went through it as kids. And for the sake of you and content, let's see what we can pry from him and take as our own digging, our own work. When that same cartel, their friends, went through and murdered a targeted murder hit on my family days after the cartel will kill me and my family for talking. But remember, I'm just a fucking mental retard. I've got nobody. I've got nothing but me, and I'm still fucking fighting for the voiceless, for the ones that cannot fight for themselves. It's not for views. It's not for clicks. It's for justice. For all. For the oath I took at the age of 17. I fight for the victims. I fight for the voiceless. What do you fight for? Content, money, laughs, good time?